Hi, I'm glad you could join me today. I'm going to show you how to make an easy chocolate frosting for your baked goods. It's really tasty, and sometime in the future I'll give you a recipe for a cake and show you how to do that. So first of all, I'm just going to give you the ingredients so you have some idea of how simple it is. This is 3 cups of icing sugar or powdered sugar. This is 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. This is 1 teaspoon of vanilla. This is 6 tablespoons of milk, and this is 1/4 cup of butter, softened room temperature. Okay. Now I'm going to take this icing sugar and I'm going to add the cocoa to it. So I just want to sift them together. You don't have to sift them, but it's better if there's not as many lumps. Sometimes you get icing sugar and it's quite lumpy. If you give it a little sift through the sifter, you don't have that problem. It also gets the cocoa powder mixed in with the icing sugar a bit. Makes the next step a bit easier. As I've told you before, try to make sure that you use a bowl that's large enough so that you don't splash it all over the place like I usually seem to do. But, you know, I'm famous for that, so do as I say, not as I do, obviously. Alright, so there's a few little lumps in the bottom of that, so we're going to set that over there. And now those lumps aren't in our icing. Okay, I'm going to add my 1/4 cup of softened butter, and you can see it's really soft. I'm going to use the trusty wooden spoon. I'm going to set that over there. At this point I'm going to add the vanilla extract, so I don't forget, because I often do. And I'm going to add about half the milk. So I put about 3 tablespoons of milk in there. And then I just start to stir it around. Now, you can make this recipe by dividing the recipe in half if you just want to do like a single cake by itself. And most of the gluten-free box cakes come as a single cake, so you really aren't making a layer cake. But this recipe, doubled like this, is for a layer cake. So you just keep stirring it around until you get it all mixed up. And then when it starts to be mixed, you add a little more milk to it, and you keep adding the milk until it becomes liquid enough. Now, if you have an electric mixer, this job will be much easier with an electric mixer than it will ever be with a spoon. But if you're young and enthusiastic and energetic, you can use a spoon, and it'll take you a little bit longer to do it than it will me, but you can still accomplish the same thing. There we go. Now I'm just going to add the last of the milk to this. There we are. I'm going to set that over here. And I'm just going to stir this together with the wooden spoon, and then I'm going to show you the gluey mess that we had before I take it and use the electric mixer on it. And it'll be quite dark looking. You can tell by the change in color as you use the mixer or you mix it by hand. It'll take on a different shade of chocolate. Right now it looks like a dark chocolate, and as you beat it, it'll be lighter in color and look more like a milk chocolate. So there you go. That's what it looks like. Now I'm going to take my electric mixer and I'm going to mix this. Clean off my spoon. Alright, so now I've mixed it half so you can see how the color has changed. And now I'm going to beat it a little more, and then it'll get quite creamy in consistency, and then you'll know the frosting's ready. So this is what our frosting looks like when it's finished. It's nice and creamy, it's not too dry. Now you can make your frosting however you like. If you like a dry, hard frosting, put less milk or more icing sugar. If you like it like this, which is the way I care for it, nice and moist and smooth, use the measurements that I gave you. And that's all there is to this. And then you can frost a layer cake with it. And if you're going to do that, the success of frosting a layer cake is to always remember to use a cold cake. Don't ever try to frost a warm cake, or your frosting will run all over the plate and look like a mess. So if you have time, put it in the fridge for a few minutes. And if you haven't got time, then my suggestion is don't frost it. I hope you enjoy this little recipe and give it a try.